Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Humless, and I'm going to show you something that I think is pretty fantastic, but will lead up to it in steps. So here on sheet one, I just have a bunch of names and addresses. You'll notice that the name is last name, comma, first name. And what if you wanted to sort this whole thing, but keep the groups together? That is, I don't want to, if I just sort it like this and select it and go to data sort, I wind up with a big mess. That doesn't help at all. So I'll undo that. And I came up with a few techniques that I want to share with you. The one on the second sheet I find quite amazing. But my technique for this was I insert a row. And then in this cell, I'd say if the cell above and to the left, that's why I needed to insert the row, is equal to nothing, then I know I'm in a new group. So I pick the top of the group. Otherwise, I pick the cell above, which will make sense in a moment. And when I click fill this down, and I'm going to go down one extra row because they're in groups, you can see how this works. Down here, the cell above and to the left is not blank, so it picks up this one. And each time I have a new group, it starts that group. And now just clicking in here, in column B, click on the sort button, and all I need to do is delete row 1, and it's sorted. Now I can delete column B as well. And you see each group is sorted by last name. And then once I learned about, I'm going to undo all that, we'll start from scratch here. But once I learned about dynamic arrays, I thought, hey, there might be a way to do this in just a formula, not a process of entering a formula and sorting and doing stuff. And I came up with this, which is currently hidden in column E. So let's unhide that. So you can see that this is currently already sorted. And let me prove it by changing Bill Jellin here. Let's give him the last name of Nellon. Bill Nellon. When I do that, notice that it's currently in alphabetical order here, but when I hit enter, it moved down to here because it has to stay alphabetical by group. So let's see how that was done. I'm going to undo it first. The formula is all in cell E1. That's one formula. I'll just put an X in here to show you I got a spill error because this whole thing is in that one cell here. And I want to take this apart. First of all, the zeros you see here is only because it's the blank. If I refer to cell A4, even though it's empty, it picks up a 0 instead to display it. So that's overridden easily by selecting the whole thing, Control-1, and format it with general and 2 semicolons, click OK, and they're gone. So that works good. But let's examine this formula. I'm letting RG be the range equal to A1 to A24. Notice I include the extra row below. Once I have that, I'm letting X be the wrap rows of range, comma 4. If I just look at this part of it, let's take this whole formula here, copy it, and move to here, paste that formula. Oops, nope, undo, that's fine. And I just want to take the X part. If all I show is X, we can see the effect of the wrap rows. So this section is the result of the wrap rows. Let me widen that better. So it's taking every 4 rows and making it 4 columns. That way, and that winds up being this variable called X. That way, I can just sort X on the first column. And if I sort X, which is this, on the first column, this is sorted. I can't sort it here to show you. Let's copy values here. Copy here is values. And now if I sort on this column, I just want to sort these. It's sorted. And then the last thing is a 2-col of that. So if I did equals 2-col of this, then I have the same result we showed at first. So I thought that was pretty cool for a while. And then it came to my own attention by me. What if this wasn't last name, comma, first name, but first name, comma, last name? Like this is the exact same set, but it's first name, last name, instead of last name, first name. And I want it sorted by last name. And I was thinking I need a macro to do that. But it turns out that this is also done in one formula. If I put an X in here, you'll see it's a spill error. I'll undo that. I don't want to show the formula yet. Let's take Bill Jelen and make it Bill Nellen again. Bill Jelen is here in the middle. I'll make it Bill Nellen. It should put it between Mickey Mouse and Bob Umlas, and it does. So how in the world is that done? I still find this result quite fascinating. We'll look at the formula, but then I'll take it apart in pieces so you can see how it really works. Notice column E through L is not being shown at the moment. So if I click on here, you see a relatively involved formula. It's not as wild as you might think, but I'm going to take this apart. I'll first walk through it a little bit, then I'll take it apart in pieces and you see how it really works. So again, I'm letting the range equal. Now I'm using an offset of A1, 0, 0, so it starts at A1. The count A of all of A, so this is all 3-line addresses. Count A divided by 3, so I find out how many different names there are. Multiply it by 4 because I wanted to take 4 rows for each one, and by 1 column. So if I just selected this part, just to show you, and do copy, and I do a go to, I can actually paste that formula in there. And if I click OK, that's RG. And if I added another section, RG would be included because of the way it was set up. So range is this whole section, okay? Then I'm letting X be the wrap rows. We saw how that worked before. So it's wrapping the rows. And Y is the first column of X. The harder part was Z. This is all Z. Whereas the middle part of Y, which is the first column, and I'm looking for the first blank. So Bob Umlas has a blank in the 4th position. +1 is the 5th position. The middle of that, starting with the 5th position for 25 characters, which is more than enough, and comma space, and the leftmost of the same characters, but I'm now finding position of the blank -1. So that would be just the Bob in this case. And that's Z. And then I'm doing a sort by. I'm doing the 2 column like we did before, but now I'm doing a sort by, sorting by X, which is the whole wrap rows, sorting by Z, which is the Z is the last name, comma, first name, and putting that back in the 2 column. Let's see how that works in detail. So I'm going to unhide column E first. Let's go to E1 and then do home and unhide that. Auto fit column width, that'll do fine. And so this is range. It's telling me I want to unhide F to I next. So this is just let range equal the same thing we saw before, but then just displaying range. And again, we get the zeros that I could format away. Let me go to F through I, and unhide that. Auto fit the column. And I'm going to rehide E. So I'm looking at one thing. This is what wound up being X. So I did the wrap, X is the wrap rows, and then I'm showing X. So I have the same thing. I can't sort this yet because I would sort it by first name. So let's take a look at what's in J. Go to J1 and auto fit that. And let's hide this. Hide. And now this says, after the wrap rows, I'm letting Y be the index of X, comma, comma, 1. So I'm only looking at that 1 column, the same as X was, but it's just the name range. Now let's go to K1 and unhide that. Auto fit column width. Let's rehide this. So this is now Z. I'm showing just Z here. Z is the result of taking the middle of Y, find the blank for 25 and comma space, and find the leftmost characters. And this has switched first name, last name to last name, comma, space, first name. Next is L, which is the last one. And here's the answer. And this, of course, is the to-call. And I'm doing the to-call, but the sort by F2. Let's unhide everything now. Unhide. So here, the sort by of F2 pound sign. Let's do it. Go to F2 pound sign. That's that. I'm sorting that by K2 pound sign. Go to K2 pound sign, which is that whole range. So I'm sorting this by this and putting that inside of a to-call makes it look exactly like column C. And this was, in fact, already formatted to not show zeros. Even though I know how this is all done, I still find it fascinating that you can rearrange this section and make it show up alphabetically. Let's try again, changing Layla Garani to Layla A. Garani, and now she's first. And it brings the groups together. What I haven't yet spent much time on trying to see if it can be done with a simple formula is what if these are not all 3 rows of addresses? What if some of them were 4 and some of them were 2 and some were 6? Can it be done? Probably can. I'll leave that up to you. Hope you enjoyed this. Till next time. Bye-bye.